deliverance is available for me. To continue the conversation on sickle cell anemia, we're blessed to have Mr. Gibson here today. Would you come on and praise God for us as he comes to continue the conversation on sickle cell anemia? God bless you. Good morning. I'd like to start with a correction. It was stated that IU School of Medicine's sponsor of the Sickle Cell Conference this Friday. It is actually my organization, the Center Sickle Cell Initiative, that is sponsoring the Sickle Cell Conference this Friday. I talk about sickle cell a lot. I do it all the time. And I usually start with some prepared remarks, but I may vary. I'll try to keep it brief, but it's a lot to talk about. And I'll start by saying to the family, I do bring you greetings from Martin Center Sickle Cell Initiative, and I bring you our most sincere condolences. And to the ministers, I say thank you for providing guidance and strength, not only to the family, but to the community. And to all the rest of you present here today, I say thank you for being here to show your support for the family in their time of sorrow. Let me start by saying that I have an understanding of what this family is feeling and what they have been through, because after 12 years of marriage, sickle cell disease took my wife from me at the age of 36. She died in my arms. That was 26 years ago, and I have been engaged in the sickle cell battle virtually every day since then. I know what sickle cell is, and I know what it does. So I can not only sympathize with you, the family, I can empathize as well. And although the rest of you are here to show your love and your support, I suspect that most of you don't have any idea of what Barbara and her family have experienced through the course of her short life. I say this because I know that there is still a huge lack of awareness and understanding about sickle cell. Most people still don't understand what it is, what it does, and how it impacts people's lives. Imagine, if you will, for a moment, that I have been given complete control over you. Once I've gained control over you, I'm going to be able to treat you however I like, whenever I like. The problem with this scenario is that I'm not a very nice person. You see, I like to hurt people, and I like to disrupt their lives. So one of the things that I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you to cross your legs and then sit on them until they start to tingle and go to sleep. After a while, your legs will start to hurt, and they will keep hurting. When you ask me to let you uncross your legs so that the pain you are feeling can go away, I'm going to say, I'm not ready to do that yet. After a while, I will let you uncross your legs, and you will start to feel better, but only until I start hitting you with a sledgehammer over and over and over again in the same spot. I will be hitting you with all of my might, and I will keep hitting you until I grow tired of doing so. You see, in this scenario, my name is sickle cell disease, and you belong to me. I use this illustration to give you a sense of what it was like for Barbara to live with sickle cell disease. Much of the life of a person with sickle cell is complicated by periods of intense pain, subsequent medical complications. Because of that, much of their lives is not in their control. It can't be, because sickle cell disease is a disruptive force that impacts childhood development, physical growth, social life and relationships, education, economics, and most important of all, quality of life. In other words, as Pastor Rush and I talked on the phone earlier, sickle cell is a monster. A leviathan that is still roaming free and unchecked within our community. Our community. Our community. Over 95% of the more than 100,000 people in the United States that have sickle cell disease are black. Historically, it's true that sickle cell has affected a population that was not well positioned financially, socially, and politically to respond to it. But that has changed dramatically. There is now more black wealth and more black political power than ever before. In fact, a recent study by the Nielsen Company says that this year, African American spending power in the United States will hit $1.1 trillion. That is an impressive number. It means that the money is there to help. But when it comes to trying to help sickle cell, for some reason, the money only seems to come in trickles. Make no mistake. Sickle cell has been discriminated against for eons, and I have a whole other speech that I give about discrimination with sickle cell. But it's important to know that 45 years ago by Father Boniface Hardin and Dr. Raymond here, even after being in existence for 45 years, we are struggling to keep afloat financially. Over the last 4 years, we've lost over 40% of our funding through no fault of our own. That has caused us to have to reduce our staff from 8 down to 4 people. It also leaves us in the position of not being able to adequately address many of the social service needs that our clients have. We've been working hard to find ways to replace the money that we've lost from our longtime funding partners, but so far we have been unable to do so. Simply put, we need our community to help us close this gap. But our community is not responding. Our community in not responding is not only letting the agency down, it's letting down hundreds of families and thousands of people right here in the Indianapolis area. This Friday, as mentioned, we will hold the 2015 Indiana Sickle Cell Conference at Ivy Tech Community College. This will be our 4th conference, and still we can only average 100 attendees. On June 27th, we will hold the 19th annual Sickle Cell 5K Walk-Run at Riverside Park. It is one of the oldest charity events in the city, and we can still only average about 300 participants. In contrast with the fact that there were thousands of people downtown at the breast cancer walk this morning, as mentioned. There are over 500 people known with sickle cell in the Indianapolis area, and we only get 300 participants at our event. In a city with over 300,000 African Americans, why is it that we can only get 300 people come walk with us? Why is that? It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that there's something wrong with this picture, and it doesn't take a congressional committee to tell us that the community support just isn't there. We have to change that. You have to help change that. I ask that you please keep that in mind as you leave here today. You know, within the sickle cell community, those who have the condition are known as warriors. They call themselves sickle cell warriors. We at Martin Center believe that they are truly deserving of such a title, for their battles are daily. They are difficult, and they are often more intense than most humans can withstand. And although I did not know her personally, I know in my heart that Barbara was a warrior. And the young lady that spoke a few minutes ago about her fighting spirit just indicated that so well. She had to be a warrior. It takes a warrior spirit to reach the age that she did. The average life expectancy for someone with sickle cell disease in the United States of America is 48 for women, 42 for men. And that's good, because it is much better than in other countries around the world. In Nigeria alone, there are 150,000 babies born with sickle cell disease a year. 90% of them die by the age of 5. You put it in that perspective, Barbara was not only a warrior, she was the elder warrior chief. Her parents and her family should be very proud of her. And although I did not know her, I am very proud of her. And you should be proud of her too. Please, let your knowledge of Barbara's life and her battle with sickle cell mean something. Let it move you to action. Thankfully, Barbara is with God now, and she doesn't need our help anymore. But there are many, many others who are still hurting, struggling, and living with unmet needs beyond what most of you can imagine. So please stand with us, fight with us, help those who need us to be there for them. May Barbara rest in peace, and may God bless us all. Thank you.